Hey guys, hello everyone. Welcome to Rasayan Academy, all of you. So today we start our discussion with homogeneous catalysis, as you can see. So we have, like we have already discussed, the most important and the basic part of organometallic chemistry. We have learned a lot of variety of reactions with a lot of examples. Now we are going to move onwards and see what are the catalytic processes in the organometallic chemistry and why they are important. Okay. So first of all, we are going to we are going to go one by one. We are going to understand the basic difference between a homogeneous as well as a heterogeneous catalyst. Okay, chalo, and then we are going to see some examples. So first of all, we see that the homogeneous catalysis, as the name usually tells you, means that the लिक्विड और सॉलिड इज सॉल्यूबल इन द रिएक्टेंट. मतलब ये जो फेज है दोनों का फेज सेम होने वाला है. ठीक है, दैट इज दैट योर कैटलिस्ट इज बेसिकली soluble or basically in the same phase. If it is liquid, if the catalyst is liquid, then the reactant is also liquid. If the catalyst is solid, then the reactant is also solid. If the catalyst is gaseous, the reactant is also gaseous. So basically the phase has to be same phase. All right. What about heterogeneous catalysis? If the catalyst is solid, then the reactant is gaseous, which means it is going to be a different phase. We will see examples of such catalyst. तो जैसे कि आप already जानते हो, catalytic hydrogenation, for example. So you are taking hydrogen which is there on the adsorbed on the platinum or nickel or palladium surface, and it is reacted to an organic molecule. All right, let's say organic molecule which is let's say present in the liquid medium. Okay, so definitely the reactant as well as the catalyst, they are in the different phases. Okay, however, when you are taking Wilkinson's catalyst, all right, so Wilkinson's catalyst is a complex and it can be taken in the liquid form when the solution, when your organic molecule is always also present in the liquid form. तो ये हो गया है same phase catalyst. ठीक है, तो अब we will see what is the difference. What are the important points that we have to understand? The heterogeneous catalysis, this has to take place at a higher temperature always, because we want two of the different phases to react with each other. That requires a higher temperature. However, homogeneous catalysis requires low temperature, already in the same phase, less than 250 degrees centigrade. इससे कम ही होता है. Activity is low for the heterogeneous catalyst and very high for the homogeneous catalyst. The diffusion is very important, and here it is fissile. Diffusion क्या होता है? You already know. Diffusion means diffusing into the other medium. तो यहाँ पे ये बहुत ज़्यादा एक तरीके से रे डिटरमाइनिंग होता है the diffusion of the molecules onto that surface of, let's say, platinum that we have taken. ठीक है, और यहाँ पे diffusion is not so it's basically easy. This is very fissile means it is very easy to happen. Diffusion is very easy. Catalyst को solvent में घुलने में बहुत आसानी होगी as compared to this one. ठीक है, heat transfer is problematic over here, and that is also easy over here, because how you are able to transfer the heat from let's say the solvent mixture to the catalyst, that is again problematic. Product selectivity, यहाँ पे कोई product selectivity नहीं होती है, और even if it is present it will be very less, because we have seen catalytic hydrogenation for alkenes. You see that most of the double bonds are hydrogenated. It's not that chemoselectivity या फिर regioselectivity नहीं है, लेकिन यहाँ पे ज्यादा होती है. Homogeneous catalysis has a higher selectivity. Okay, catalyst recycling. So this point is very important, that in the heterogeneous catalysis, since the two different, the solvent as well as the reactant, the reactant and the catalyst, they are present in the different phase. That is why it's easy to separate out the catalyst. So it is simple and cost effective. लेकिन homogeneous में तो mix हो गया है. So that's why now removing the product and removing the catalyst becomes expensive and complex. Okay. Now the reaction mechanism is poorly understood for the heterogeneous one, but it is very well understood in the homogeneous catalyst. ठीक है, तो heterogeneous catalysis में इतना अच्छा रेट हम नहीं डिफाइन कर सकते हैं जैसे कि हम homogeneous में कर सकते हैं. Product separation is also very easy because the catalyst is already in a different medium, it is separated. लेकिन यहाँ पे थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है. You might have to do some distillation, some other reactions. All right, so it is elaborate and sometimes problematic to remove the product. Okay. Fine tuning of the catalyst is difficult because we don't know exact amount how much we have to take, but here in the liquid phase, or let's say in the homogeneous phase, which is usually liquid and liquid only, that is very easy. Okay, because we just take the molar quantity or in units like that. Okay, catalyst deactivation. So how to deactivate the catalyst? ये catalyst जो होता है, it is less sensitive and it is not easily deactivated. However, the homogeneous one, since it is soluble, reacting very highly, it is more sensitive and easily deactivated. Okay, so that is also a drawback. तो इस table में हमने दोनों चीजें देखी है. We have seen the drawbacks also, we have seen the benefits also of taking a homogeneous catalyst. Okay, so now see, more important in your syllabus, in the CSIR NET syllabus, is the homogeneous catalysis only. Okay. So now we are going to move onwards and see one by one the catalytic process, or basically the catalytic cycles. So you see how many important reactions that we usually come across. सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं hydrogenation of alkene. Now this hydrogenation of alkene can be carried out both in the heterogeneous and the homogeneous manner. ठीक है. In the heterogeneous manner, you have seen the catalytic hydrogenation, taking your palladium, platinum, nickel, any of these as the catalyst. Okay? And in the homogeneous one, we can take the Wilkinson's catalyst for the simple hydrogenation of alkene. Next is hydroformylation of alkene. Now here, this has to go through a homogeneous catalysis. इसके बारे में हम डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे. What is hydroformylation? To this alkene, this is a unsymmetric alkene over here, I am adding carbon monoxide and H2. ठीक है, ये combination मैंने लिया है, and with this combination I am able to put a formyl group. Hydroformylation, इसको oxo process भी बोलते हैं. All right, oxo process. So I am just putting a CHO to one of the carbons and a hydrogen to the other carbon. So there are two possibilities. That is, I can put a CHO to this carbon over here and that will give me a linear product. या फिर I can put a CHO to the central carbon and that is going to give me a branched product. So ये एक branched product है because this CHO is actually connected with this CH. तो ये क्या हो गया? Branched product. Okay, so how and why this is happening, we will discuss that in detail in the oxo process. आगे चलते हैं. Oxidation of alkenes, another very important reaction by Wacker process. ये भी क्या है? Wacker oxidation बोला जाता है. In both inorganic and organic chemistry, this reaction is studied, right? So we are taking a simple alkene. When we are adding oxygen in the presence of palladium and copper catalyst, we get oxidation of this alkene into a carbonyl. Now, if you're having a simple alkene like this, it is going to be an aldehyde. But if you have RCH double bond CH2 like this, absolutely it is going to give you a ketone. So whenever you have a unsymmetric system like this, it is going to give you a ketone, never an aldehyde, never. Remember that. Moving onwards, methanol carbonylation to give you acetic acid. So I am doing carbonylation of a simple methanol molecule. ये देखो, ये methanol है, इसमें carbon monoxide add कर दिया, तो what will happen? This is one possibility, acetic acid formation. ऐसे ही तो जाके नहीं add हो जाएगा. We have to do some catalysis over here and we will talk about it. इसको हम बोलते हैं Monsanto process. Monsanto acetic acid process. All right, methanol carbonylation to give you acetic acid. So these are some of the examples and most important and popular reactions which are being done. Next is polymerization of alkenes. अब ये जो reaction है polymerization, let's say I'm writing E over here. This is going to go through a heterogeneous catalysis. Heterogeneous catalysis. And this we are going to discuss at the end. जब हम सारी homogeneous catalysis पढ़ लेंगे तब last में पढ़ेंगे, because the exact mechanism of this reaction is not very particularly defined. That's why it's like a approximate mechanism that we have. ठीक है, तो basically polymerization किसका करना है? Let's say we are taking propylene molecule, CH3 CH double bond CH2. This is our propylene molecule. We want to just make it as a polymer by adding the alkene part. ठीक है, तो polymer कैसे बनता है? There are many possibilities. Since there is a side chain present, this side chain can be arranged all on the same side. ये रहा side chain, all on the same side it is being added. That is going to give you isotactic isomer या isotactic polypropylene. फिर एक होता है when they are alternatively arranged, one above, one below, one above, one below, so on and so forth. इसको बोलते हैं syndiotactic polypropylene. ठीक है, syndiotactic polypropylene. Okay, see, both of these are still like very nicely arranged. ठीक है, ये दोनों इनमें एक order है, either continuous or alternative. But the last one, atactic polypropylene, it does not have any order. Either it is above or then below and then above and then below. It's no order, no particular order. That's why this is most random or most disarranged kind of polypropylene system. So definitely we would want by catalysis to create more of the isotactic and syndiotactic polypropylene, जिसमें ज़्यादा order होता है, उसकी packing ज़्यादा अच्छी होती है. That's why the strength of that polymer is going to be really high. So we will see this reaction also in detail. आगे चलते हैं guys, और एक reaction है which we have already studied, olefin metathesis. You have studied this very nicely. This is also a homogeneous catalysis reaction where you see that we used to take a ruthenium carbene complex and we used to do a lot of different kind of metathesis. यहाँ पे हमने क्या है, यहाँ पे cross metathesis reaction किया है, isn't it? So two of these alkenes are going to break down and get the CH2 group added like this to form the byproduct, and this is your major cross metathesis product. ठीक है, ये भी एक टाइप का catalysis है. Then oligomerization of alkenes. What is this? I'm just adding smaller alkene units to create a bigger saturated chain. So whenever I'm adding this is like a free radical mechanism. Okay, तो ये एक example है, चलो. So whenever I'm trying to react this alkene, it is going to open up the pi bonds and it is going to react like this, in this manner, so that the final chain is going to be a saturated one. Only one last double bond जो कि react करेगा. Hydrocyanation of alkene. So just like other addition to alkene reaction, the hydrocyanation is also a reaction which gives you unsaturation to saturation, और एक cyanide group attach हो जाता है. Okay, that's the only difference. So these are some of the examples that you might go through. Okay, और आपने और भी देखे होंगे. ये देखो, हम यहाँ पे भी लिख देते हैं I. Hydrocarboxylation of acetylene, very very important. See, I'm not telling you to kind of remember all of these reactions. Most of them you will see while you are studying organometallic chemistry. आपको ये normally encounter हो जाएगा. ठीक है. Next is I am taking alkyne. Now I'm taking a carbonyl and water. What is supposed to happen? In the presence of some strong, let's say this kind of a reducing reaction over this carbon, तो क्या हो जाता है? Hydride transfer followed by this carbon attacking over carbon monoxide and then getting hydrolyzed. So this is a step up reaction. This is a step up reaction taking place for the alkyne to be able to form this kind of a propenoic acid. Okay, very very important. Next is, ये देखो, carbonylation of alkene to polyketones. Very easy. हमने n number of alkene लिया, then we are taking n number of carbon monoxide. to give you n number of polyketones. What is a polyketone now? Polyketone means you are going to basically just इस तरीके से CH2 लिखो या फिर कैसे भी करके और लिखो. The chain is going to go on and on. Alright, so this is your polyketone. Very simple. Okay, next example is carbon-carbon and carbon-nitrogen cross-coupling reactions. So you will see a lot and a lot of these kind of reaction. ठीक है, ये आपने already basic पता है आपको, Heck reaction, Sonogashira reaction, Suzuki coupling, so many different types of reaction. यहाँ पे मैंने एक Suzuki का example लिया है. Only a simple Suzuki coupling reaction over here. I'm taking a alkyl borane. Okay, so alkyl borane over here reacts with alkyl halide in the presence of palladium and base. Definitely base you have to take. That gives you a alkane bond, a carbon-carbon bond, and BXOH2. मतलब ये R की जगह X आ गया है. What is X? It is a electronegative element or a leaving group. Okay, this is what you're going to how you're going to form a carbon-carbon bond. And in few cases, let's say उसका नाम है Buchwald-Hartwig amination. इस reaction के case में carbon-nitrogen bond also forms. All right, no problem. L पे आते हैं, hydrosilylation reaction. So what is silylation? ये देखो, you are having a triethyl silyl hydride plus your alkyne present over here. In the presence of platinum, what happens is your SiEt3 is going to have a proton removal and attack on this alkyne system to form a system like this. एक जगह एक कार्बन पे हाइड्रोजन ऐड हो गया, दूसरा कार्बन पे सिलिकॉन ऐड हो गया. Okay, so both of these silicon and hydrogen, even though there is a little bit of a electronegativity difference, but it is not that much. इसीलिए ये डबल बॉन्ड के बीच में इक्वली डिवाइड हो सकता है. Asymmetric epoxidation, very important, very popular. This is known as Sharpless epoxidation. ठीक है, तो ये जो Sharpless epoxidation है, you might have seen this very many times on my YouTube channel also. You might have seen this. ठीक है, तो ये जो allylic alcohol है, this allylic alcohol is going to react in the presence of titanium tetraisopropoxide plus DET tertiary hydroperoxide. अब ये जो DET है ये प्लस है या माइनस है, depending on that you are going to have an epoxide product, whether it is going to be above the plane or below the plane. ठीक है, ये हो गया another example of catalysis. So guys, now we are going to move onwards and we will understand first of all some of the terminologies which are used in catalysis. Alright, and this is not much, it is a very simple topic. Alright, so let's start the discussion. First of all, you might have heard about the turnover number. Right, what is the turnover number? Let's see. The absolute number of passes through the catalytic cycle before the catalyst becomes deactivated is called the turnover number of that particular catalyst. ठीक है, मतलब कि how many cycles it can undergo before being deactivated completely. ठीक है, so how do we find that out numerically? ये देखो, very simple. Turnover number can be found out by taking the amount of reactant divide by the amount of catalyst multiply the yield of the product that you have got. Okay, so it's not like reactant upon product, you can't do that. Amount of the reactant divided by amount of catalyst multiplied by yield of the product. Okay, this is how you're going to find out the turnover number. Okay, so turnover number is the number of catalytic cycles before the catalyst is deactivated, and turnover frequency, it's very easy again. It is the number of passes through the cycle per unit time. ठीक है, मतलब कि वो जो एक आपका जो टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्नओवर नंबर है, टर्नओवर नंबर per time, that is how many total cycles that catalyst can complete and in how much time. Okay, तो ये देखो, the turnover frequency you know is per time. So that frequency is second inverse, तो इसको हम ऐसे ही लिख देंगे, turnover number का कोई unit नहीं होता है, this is unitless. Alright, this is unitless because the amount of reactant divided by amount of catalyst will be the amount, the gram, or whatever the quantity, that will be cancelled out. And yield of the product we are going to take in percentage, so it does not have any unit. So turnover number per unit time will give you per second as the turnover frequency. Okay, and obviously higher the turnover frequency of a catalyst, more effective is its nature. ठीक है, तो ये एक measure है of the effectiveness of that particular catalyst, that how many number of cycles per unit time it can do. जैसे कि कुछ कैटलिस्ट होते हैं, there is a catalyst A which can do 5 cycles per second, then there is a catalyst B which can do 10 cycles per second, then there is the number C who can do like 15 cycles per second. So this is definitely doing more number of catalytic cycles per second. That's why it is more efficient. So greater the turnover frequency, greater is the efficiency, just amount of that. आगे चलते हैं, we'll see a question. In a homogeneous catalytic reaction, okay, 1 mole of substrate and 1 micromole of catalyst. You must always remember that the catalyst is going to be taken in a very small amount. Okay, so that's why 1 mole of the substrate and 1 micromole of the catalyst, that produces 1 millimole of the product in 10 seconds. What is the turnover frequency? Very simple. You have the substrate, you have the products, you have the catalyst amount and time also. पहले हम निकालेंगे turnover number. First you find out the turnover number and then you divide the turnover number by time, you get the turnover frequency. Okay, so yes, exactly. तो ये देखो पहले ऐसे लिखते हैं R. R is our reactant. 1 mole of the reactant, very good. Then catalyst, how much? Micromole, that is 10 raised to minus 6 mole. And what is the product? Millimole of product. So product is millimole. So 10 raised to minus 3 mole. ठीक है, तो ये हो गया 0.001 mole. ठीक है, so now either we take the yield of product in decimal or in the percentage yield, like that. So इसलिए percentage है नहीं, तो इसलिए हमने इसको decimal में ले लिया. Got it? So reactant is 1 mole divided by catalyst 10 raised to minus 6 multiplied by 0.001, that is going to give you 10 raised to 3. ठीक है, so now 10 raised to 3 in how much time? 10 raised to 3 divide by 10 seconds लिखा हुआ है, so that is 10 raised to 2 seconds. That is, the catalyst can do 100 cycles per second. How fast is that? That per second it is doing, the same catalyst is doing 100 cycles per second. How nice. So this is the turnover frequency of that particular catalyst. Okay, chalo, तो आगे बढ़ते हैं guys. And these kind of questions have been asked in your exam. So we move onwards and we now talk about the examples of hydrogenation catalysts. So we have to see many different type of catalysts. Now we are only covering the catalysts which are very popular, which are there in your books and which are also asked in the exam. Okay, तो ये सारे catalysts हम cover कर रहे हैं. And I would suggest all of you, see, this course is not only for the CSIR NET examination. CSIR NET examination is considered to be the most, to be having the most difficult syllabus out of all the examination which is taking place in India. That is the SET examination or all the others. Even the syllabus is much greater as compared to GATE exam. ऐसा नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि GATE is easy, CSIR NET is difficult. I'm just telling the scope of syllabus is much bigger as compared to GATE also. Organometric इतना deep में नहीं आता है GATE में. ठीक है, so once you prepare for the CSIR NET exam, you will be able to give the exam, the other exams, and qualify them, specifically the state examinations and all that. Okay, so when you are studying for the CSIR NET exam, please focus on the syllabus that I have prepared. And if you want to study extra, if you feel कि ये हमारे college के level का नहीं है, definitely it is not for the university level, it is for the CSIR, right? University level का आपको university में पढ़ाते हैं, ठीक है? So a lot of students were complaining that ma'am, this course is not, it's not from the basic. But when you are studying for the CSIR net, you already have to have a basic. And still, if you are finding any trouble, I will build a foundation course separately. But for now, you have to focus on the most difficult things, which you are not going to get anywhere else. Okay. And along with that, you can follow books. You can follow B.D. Gupta. That is the easiest book and the most understandable book on organometallics. All right. You can follow Crabtree also, but B.D. Gupta is like an Indian writer and he knows what is required, what is relevant according to the Indian audience. So you can just refer to this book. It's a very nice book. Okay. So now, examples of hydrogenation catalyst over here. Look over here, guys. First one we are talking about is Wilkinson's catalyst. So you already know that Wilkinson's catalyst is a square planar complex of rhodium where you are having three bulky triphenyl phosphines connected to rhodium and one chlorine. So the oxidation state of rhodium is +1 and this is a 16 electron species if you want to count. Okay, it's a square planar species. Very well. Now we move onwards to another type. ये देखो ये क्या है Schrock-Osborn catalyst. It is doing the same job. It is doing hydrogenation of alkenes. तो देखो what is special in Schrock-Osborn? It is like somewhat similar to Wilkinson's. There are two phosphine, the same triphenyl phosphine units, the same rhodium in +1 oxidation state क्योंकि outer side में +1 है, so this +1 is because of rhodium. But the other two ligands are the alkene. What is this? Cyclooctadiene. It is a cyclooctadiene ligand which is present in Schrock-Osborn catalyst. Now we move onwards to another very important one, Crabtree catalyst. What is present over here? Rather than rhodium, iridium is present in +1 oxidation state. Okay. अब ये iridium +1 में है. What are the ligands? Tricyclohexyl phosphine, one pyridine. The other two, ligands, basically it is just the same, cyclooctadiene. All of these three are very popular and very frequently asked. We are going to discuss some of their reactivities first of all. फिर बाद में हम mechanism देखेंगे. तो basically reaction क्या हो रहा है? You are having a simple alkene and alkene के ऊपर we are providing hydrogen in the presence of the catalyst to do this kind of a hydrogenation. This is your saturated alkane product. Okay, and the reaction is a homogeneous catalyst. Homogeneous catalysis is taking place. All right, you must know this by now. चलो आगे चलते हैं. Now, first of all, we are discussing the reactivity of different catalysts with respect to different compounds. First thing, ये देखो turnover frequency of some homogeneous hydrogenation catalyst. Now you know what is turnover frequency. So when I'm saying कि Wilkinson's catalyst है and Wilkinson's catalyst, देखो turnover frequency यहाँ पे per hour में लिया गया है, it's per hour. So if I'm taking this simple first terminal alkene, so for this Wilkinson's catalyst is 650. That means कि 650 molecules it is going to do the reduction hydrogenation in 1 hour. Okay. फिर आते हैं ये disubstituted 700 molecules per hour. Then we come to the tri-substituted 13 molecules per hour. Then when we come to tetra-substituted, not available. It is not going to react so highly substituted alkene. Okay, that is how we see, we compare the reactivity. तो सबसे पहले हमने लिया Wilkinson's catalyst. दूसरा लेते हैं Schrock-Osborn catalyst. 4000 alkene molecule it can reduce in 1 hour. Which one? This one only. When the steric factor increases, देखो ये mono-substituted है. This is di-substituted cis alkene. Only 10. From 4000 it goes to 10. And tri and tetra substituted both not available, which means it can only reduce a simple alkene, simple monosubstituted alkene. Third catalyst, you see Crabtree catalyst. Why is it so important? ये देखो, ये ऑलरेडी इसको भी, इसके लिए भी इंक्रीज हो रहा है, द टर्नओवर फ्रीक्वेंसी इंक्रीजेस फॉर द मोनो सब्स्टिट्यूटेड एल्कीन ऑल्सो, but for the di substituted cis alkene 4500, for tri substituted 3800, for tetra substituted 4000. So this is our best catalyst, isn't it? Yes, but because it is going to reduce or do the hydrogenation for all of them. Definitely with increasing bulk, the frequency decreases, lekin still it is much better as compared to all the other available, catalyst. फिर हम आते हैं, और भी कैटलिस्ट बहुत है. मार्क्स कैटलिस्ट इज लाइक अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ अ स्ट्रेंज वन. ठीक है, इसका स्ट्रक्चर हमें याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है. इट इज वेरी हाई अगेन फॉर द मोनो सब्स्टिट्यूटेड, बट फॉर ऑल द अदर्स इट इज नॉट अवेलेबल. Then we have another ruthenium based reagent, that is HRuCl PPH3 whole 3. So this is like a Wilkinson's catalyst only, it is just hydrogenated form. 9000 for the monosubstituted, but for the rest not so good. So what are the three or the two most important ones? Wilkinson catalyst is the most oldest, and that's what we are going to remember. And the next is Crabtree's catalyst. हम इन दोनों को याद रखेंगे. ठीक है, let's move on with this. Now, first of all, you have seen the comparison, which are the most important, Wilkinson's and the Crabtree. We are going to first start and understand the mechanism of hydrogenation by the Wilkinson's catalyst. Okay, very, very important. How you are going to start, which complex it is going to form, all those important things. Right? तो सबसे पहले start करते हैं complex से. Rhodium connected to 3-phosphine 1-chlorine, and you know it is already there in the +1 oxidation state. और ये कितना electron species है? It is a 16 electron species. Okay. Now, there are two different types of mechanisms which are shown in the book. Okay, sometimes it is mentioned that it is going to do an oxidative addition, which is a slow reaction. All right, and from 16 it is going to become an 18 electron species. ठीक है, तो ये क्या बन गया? 18 इलेक्ट्रॉन. एंड यू नो दैट इफ द हाइड्रोजन इज गोइंग टू डू द ऑक्सीडेटिव एडिशन, इट विल ऐड सिस. ये दोनों एकदम सिस में ऐड होंगे. ठीक है, ऑल राइट. नाउ आफ्टर इट बिकम्स 18 इलेक्ट्रॉन सिस्टम, इट कैन नो मोर अकोमोडेट द एल्कीन, इसलिए एक फॉस्फीन को निकालना पड़ेगा. रिमूव्स अ फॉस्फीन. ओके, एंड देयर इज अ वेकेंसी ओवर हियर राइट नाउ. So this is a 16 electron species that you have got. Now comes the coordination of olefin part. Now you add the olefin, again it becomes an 18 electron system, because rest of the molecule is as it is, और alkene को coordinate कर लिया है. Now here comes the most important part, that is the beta migratory insertion. What is beta migratory insertion? You already know about this, that when you are having let's say not carbon directly connected, when you have the double bond connected to rhodium in this way, and there is a hydrogen, this hydrogen can jump over here and this bond can open up over here. So you finally are going to get rhodium and this one carbon connected to rhodium like this. So basically how many carbons? CH2 CH3. So this is your CH2, this is CH3. Yes, CH2 CH3 it is going to become. Okay, so this is exactly what you have. You have one carbon over here and the other carbon has the hydrogen which is far away. So this is the beta migratory insertion taking place. Moving onwards, after beta migratory insertion, see, अभी 18 इलेक्ट्रॉन था. बीटा माइग्रेटरी इंसर्शन के बाद में it should become a 16 electron species. Let's see once. All right, alkene coordinated, jumped 16 electron. Now one more reductive elimination has to happen. You see, this hydrogen and this whole carbon species is going to remove together by doing a reductive elimination, and that will completely give you this saturated molecule. ये पूरा saturated molecule बन के निकल जाएगा, and this is the species that you have got. How many electrons to this species? Rhodium has 9 electrons plus 1 10 plus 4 electrons. So this is a 14 electron species. Okay, so 14 electron species will take one phosphine and it goes back to become the 16 electron species. Alright, तो यहाँ पे H2 नहीं लिख के हम लिखेंगे PPH3. तो ये वापस से ऐड होके ये बन जाएगा, which is again going to undergo this cycle. You know, there is one more mechanism which is present in many different texts, That is, you are starting with this rhodium PPH3 complex. You must know about this, okay? That's why I'm just telling you, but it is not necessary that you remember all of these. So this is a 16 electron species, right? तो पहले क्या होगा? First of all, this phosphine is going to break. All right. First of all, the phosphine does the cleavage and gives you PPH3 Cl, and now this becomes a 14 electron species. And now this is going to take part in the catalytic cycle. लेकिन इसका कोई खास proof नहीं है. Okay, there is no proof that in the first step only PPH3 is breaking down. Rather, here this is a better proof that the oxidative addition is going to be the first step, kind of a rate determining step and so on. So that's why this mechanism has a greater possibility as compared to first forming the 14 electron species. Okay, so that's why we are discussing this one. चलो हम आगे चलते हैं guys. You can now do this one mechanism that we have studied, and then we are going to move onwards and discuss few more important points about the Wilkinson's catalysis. देखो, as you have already seen the table that we have discussed, there you had the monosubstituted alkene react very fast according to Wilkinson's catalyst. ठीक है, तो reactivity order कैसे होगा? Relative rate of alkene hydrogenation, how is it going to be? Monosubstituted faster, then disubstituted cis, then disubstituted, this is like geminal disubstitution, then there comes disubstituted cis, but it is not cyclic. So the cyclic one is going to be like faster. Okay, because of the restriction in rotation. And then comes the trans, then comes the trisubstituted, and finally tetrasubstituted, very poor reactivity. तो ये rate of reaction आपको थोड़ा सा याद रखना है, because it's like very logical, it's not very difficult to remember. Few more important points. Terminal alkynes are hydrogenated faster than terminal alkenes, because obviously alkyne is more electron rich. Okay, and your rhodium is only a 16 electron species, so definitely it is going to coordinate alkyne faster than the alkene. Okay. Moving onwards, a conjugated diene are reduced slowly compared to isolated ones. Why is that so? क्योंकि जो conjugated dienes होती है, there is again a steric factor which is working, and Wilkinson's catalyst does not like steric hindrance. Okay. Next, substrate having polar functional groups are hydrogenated faster than those having none. Polar functional group मतलब कि you can take OH, you can take OMe, you can take NH2, all of these. ठीक है, ये क्या करते हैं? Do they also show directing property? Yes, they also show directing property. What do I mean by that? ये polar group है, definitely they are going to make the reaction faster because the metal is like attracted towards these polar groups. Okay, kind of a chelation. It's not exactly chelation, but yeah, attracted. Force of attraction is there, and they also direct where the hydrogen is going to be placed. इसका एक example देख लेते हैं हम. चलो यहीं पे देख लेते हैं. For example, like I'm having some kind of a polar group present. OH is present over here, something like that. A rough example, okay, just for you to understand. So when I'm doing the catalytic hydrogenation using Wilkinson's catalyst, you're going to find that the stereo of the OH and the stereo of the hydrogens which are added becomes same. Why is that so? क्योंकि ये जो OH है, this is going to pull the metal towards itself and do the hydrogen donation over there only. So that is known as the directing property. Wilkinson catalyst also shows directing property. ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं. We will also see how the Crabtree catalyst is reacting and does it also show the directing property. ठीक है, तो देखो दो ही catalyst important है. So we are going to look at the Crabtree catalyst. Okay, very interesting this one. So the mechanism is very simple. It's not like the Wilkinson's one. It's a little bit different. ये देखो, different क्यों है? Because you are not having the active catalyst right over here. ये जो catalyst है, this is not exactly the active catalyst. देखते हैं what is happening. So you are having a cyclooctadiene molecule already connected. ठीक है, 16 electron. species plus 1 charge on iridium. So first step is doing oxidative addition. Oxidative addition कर लिया hydrogen का, it is going to give you H on the same side, and the oxidation state now increases from +1 to +3. ठीक है. Now followed by that, followed by the oxidative addition, you are first going to reduce one of these double bonds. तो ये क्या करेगा? Beta migratory insertion. So it is doing a beta migratory insertion like this, and अच्छा कौन से bond पे दिखाया है? It is shown on this one. It's the same thing, whichever double bond you want to reduce, it can be reduced. Okay, so it did a beta migratory insertion on one of the double bonds. Let's say I'm writing the arrow over here. Yeah, you have to also make sure that these two are cis. तो ये दोनों भी cis position ही है. In the beta migratory insertion, the two groups should be cis to each other. So, okay, this carbon is saturated and this carbon is connected to iridium. Fine. Now, what is going to happen? This hydrogen and this carbon, they are going to like do a reductive elimination and one double bond is removed. एक reductive elimination किया तो एक double bond remove हो गया. That vacancy is filled by the solvent coordination. Whatever solvent you are taking, it is coordinating to iridium. Now you are doing the same step once again. Oxidative addition of hydrogen, it will add up over here like this, and then you again do a beta migratory insertion, and then you again do a reductive elimination. That step is now going to release completely the iridium. देखो पूरा release हो गया है. The octane molecule, the cyclooctane, repeat of cycle with cyclooctane to give you cyclooctane completely removed, and the two of the position are occupied by the solvent molecule, disolvated active form of catalyst. Now this is the active form of the catalyst. Now what is it is going to do? It is going to do the alkene coordination on both of these positions. क्योंकि आपको पता है कि इसका reaction थोड़ा fast है. Why is it fast? It is doing alkene coordination on both of these positions and doing oxidative addition, migratory insertion, reductive elimination, product formation, active form of the catalyst goes back once again. ये फिर यहाँ पे चला जाएगा active form of the catalyst. Okay, so that's why the Crabtree catalyst is faster as compared to Wilkinson's. So yeah, this is it. Crabtree's catalyst. You know the mechanism now. Even though direct mechanism of the Crabtree catalyst has not been asked till now, but maybe it will be asked in future. आगे चलते हैं, and we see some really important examples, okay, of both of these catalysts. अब देखो. Now, this is a molecule, this is an organic molecule, ठीक है. What do I see over here? I see कि ये एक enone, dienone system है, diene and one. Okay, and this is also an enone system. Okay, so what now? If I'm taking palladium charcoal and hydrogen, ये हो गया heterogeneous catalysis of this molecule. Is it going to have any selectivity? No. What is it going to do? ये जो bigger ring है, bigger ring में से दोनों double bond को reduce कर दिया. You're getting 75% of this product. Okay. अब next में we are taking Wilkinson's catalysis. It is going to show you selectivity. Why? Because it is going to reduce. It reduces less hindered double bond. Less hindered carbon-carbon double bond. Which one is less hindered? ये देखो, ये तो पूरा tetra substituted है. This is also tetra substituted. Only this bond is di substituted. So it reduces this one, 95% yield of that, and it also shows selectivity. That is why I was saying that Wilkinson's catalyst will show you selectivity. ठीक है, और देखते हैं, चलो. Now, when we are talking about, see, since it is hydrogen and you already had two hydrogen over here, you don't know about the regio, and यहाँ पे कोई polar group भी नहीं है to like tell you about the regio. That's why it is fine. चलो. Now we have another molecule. What do we have? A carbonyl. This alkene and this alkene. Okay. Wilkinson's catalyst. You think which one is going to be reduced? ये एक cis alkene है, ये एक trans alkene है. Cis or trans? Cis. So definitely the cis alkene is reduced over here. Transalkene is as it is. How nice. So this is also the product according by the Wilkinson's catalyst. तीसरा एग्जाम्पल देखते हैं guys. In this I have taken the Crabtree's catalyst over here. You are having a polar group OH present over here. You are having a double bond. Polar group के just पास में there is a tertiary, not tertiary butyl, it's isopropyl group. But when you are taking this kind of a catalyst, this is your Crabtree catalyst, COD, PCY3, pyridine PY plus. Okay. Major product will be the one where the hydrogenation has happened on the same side of the OH or the polar group. क्योंकि यहाँ तो दोनों हाइड्रोजन है, that's why not mentioned, only this side it is mentioned because the methyl can, like, this can make a difference. So this is your major product and the trans one is your minor product. 164:1 is the ratio. And the product yield is very high, and the the TOF number, the turnover frequency, is also high for the Crabtree catalyst. Directing property is also shown. Just remember that both these catalysts will show directing property. All right, but it is more prominent in the Crabtree catalyst. More prominent, and maximum times it is taken for the Crabtree catalyst. Okay.